Yo, what up everyone? Today I got another coaching video for you guys. For anyone who doesn't know what this is about, I uploaded those in the past, but then stopped due to them performing not too well in comparison to my normal videos. But people still often ask for me to keep uploading them because they generally enjoyed watching them and they did learn from them. So I'm gonna bring this format back. For anyone wondering how you guys can get your own coaching, this coaching is completely free and I offer it over on my Twitch channel. All you need to do, record your own gameplay, upload it to YouTube, or a Twitch watch works as well. Then you join my Discord, tag me in the designated coaching channel section with it, and then we find a day on which I will watch your gameplay live on stream and then give you advice on your gameplay. I'm doing hunt coaching for well over a year now and have coached more than 100 players. All skill levels are welcome. And the coaching will always be targeted at your current experience level. If you are newer to the game, we are gonna focus on fixing bad habits, and the more experienced you are, the more in detail we go, so you can get the best help to improve at your favorite game. But anyways, enjoy the video and I'll talk to you guys next time. In this video, we got Sepha. Sepha is somebody who took a long hunt break for 2 years, plays a lot of FPS games, is generally very good at FPS games, wants to get into solo v trios, but even though, like you will see in the video, his aim is very good, the overall game sense positioning is lacking, and this is what this coaching will be mostly focused on. We're gonna go much more in detail because Sepha is a more skilled player, but I think this video could be very helpful to a lot of solo players out there since I explain a lot of basics about rotations, positioning, and how to approach fights as a solo in general. For anyone who was ever interested in that. And this is Sepha. He wants to do like a little coaching on solo versus trios. It's going to be mostly decision making and positioning, that kind of stuff. For anyone interested. That's like usually how I design my coachings. That like, you know, everybody misses a shot, nobody always is on point with the aim. Aim is not a constant thing. You have good days, you have bad days. Looks different for everybody. But yeah, let's jump straight into it and see what kind of advice we can give Sepha here. Pin the quality on 1080. And then we go. Spawned in, Single Boss Assassin. Mosen uppercut, not a bad loadout. What if I want you to roast me? Nah. I can, like, you know, do a little bit if you want. Like, if that's what you want, Sepha. But, yeah. That's good, that's good. Confident in your aim. That's a bad habit a lot of people have that have, you know, fairly good aim. Actually, it's like one of the worst habits that people have. They like just very often put themselves in a situation in which they have to hit the headshot, and if they miss, it's game over. It's actually one of the worst habits a lot of like good players on Hunt Showdown have, that have like, you know, come from other FPS games, but you know, they don't have that many hours in Hunt yet.
Hi boys.
Yo, Bombos, appreciate the raid. Thank you for the games today. If anyone wondering what I'm doing here, we're currently doing a little coaching. That's why the quality looks a little bit worse than it usually does, because we're watching a YouTube video. It's Memos I have to look, by the way. No, I'm doing coaching, but the guy that's getting coached also gets Memons, you know? You can't escape, Bombos, can't escape. Everybody's on Memons, not just us. So in the dog cage, good call. But you guys should check out Bombus. Good friend of mine, amazing content creator. You know, follow him on Twitch if you guys don't do it already. And, you know, also follow him on YouTube. Okay, got the third clue. Very nice. I love how you, like, you know, try to make as little noise as possible. It's a good habit. What the bosses. Our banishment happened already. It's tricky. Yeah, not a bad idea to, like, use, like, your decoy fuses to that a bit of the dog cages. Who's Vombos? Yeah, who's that guy, right, Helly? Who's that guy? What up, Helly? Let's see what we can do here. I also love how you like held back on your stamp shot. A lot of people takes it at the beginning of the round, and then they waste like 4-5 5 minutes of their stamp shot. So I really like that you like, held off a little bit. Oh, Hellbourne is here. Yeah, I wouldn't go for him as a solo. I usually, when I play solo, go for Hellbourne when the lobby is wiped. You also have Conduit, it gives you like a bunch of stamina already, but a lot of people would have just popped their stamp shot at the beginning of the round. Which is actually not a good idea. Coach Unique? I'm not good enough on Unique. I used to be Diamond 1 in League, but that was like 10 years ago. So I don't even know what's meta right now. I played ADC, but I probably like... What was considered skilled back then is today probably like gold rank. Or like maybe plat or something, I have no idea. I haven't played League in like 10 years or something like that. But now I do. Fair enough, Sepha. Fair enough. Bad idea. You hear footsteps inside the layer. You're fairly new to the game, right, Sepha? I have a feeling. Like, not super new, but like fairly new. But what game did you play before? Because I see with like how you pre-aim stuff. You know what you're doing. But I can tell that you don't fully know what the compounds look like yet. So I'm assuming you're like fairly new. Not super new, but like fairly new. I love that. That's like one of the things I usually recommend to people. Use your region shot before the fight is fully happening. Speaking of that little crack peek. Ooh, nice shot. Amazing. Let's see what you do now after getting the kill. Yeah, they're going for the revive now. Something you have to do as a solo, especially when you play rifle, in that situation, decision-making wise, and when you get that kill, you have to rotate around. I'm gonna go back here. You get the kill up here on the roof. You should rotate to the left and try to contest the body, or push the roof. Either you go around left side, which I would recommend since you have Molten Uppercut, and you don't know what loadouts they have, you don't know if they have shotguns. I would instantly, after getting the kill, rotate left-hand side, so you have an angle on the guy that you just killed. You don't want to give them a free revive. You could also push the wagon here on the right and climb the roof, but then again, you don't know if they have shotguns. That would be my first advice on decision making. We're gonna go a little bit more in detail here because he has really good aim, and I want to give him the best advice I can give him. But yeah, that would be my first advice here. Like, once you get an entry kill, don't play passive after getting a kill. You don't want them to like turn it back into a 3v1. You want to keep it in a 2v1. Especially nowadays with like recovery shots being a thing and burn traits being more available due to Hellbourne and stuff. That guy is probably full health again. And you have Spitz ammo, which means you can't read-on with a body tap. It's very important as a solo to like not give your enemy free revives. You know, don't risk your life for it, but if you would have rotated a little bit to the left here, I think you could have like contested the body. Could have even used, you know, if you go in detail, you... Ooh, nice shot. You have really good aim, dude. God damn. Those are some amazing shots. Kaxhawks, welcome in. What up, Kaxhawks? For all the people on YouTube watching here, that's like one of the redeems for like tier 3 supporters on my channel on Twitch. They can play a little sound. Oh, the Dragon Breath. That is so annoying. I love how you don't panic here and try to finish him. Costs you a lot of bars. Well, that's tough. That's tough, tough, tough. Dragon Breath is so annoying to fight against. But you do get the full revive here, so you didn't burn out. It's very convenient, actually. I love how you didn't panic when burning. Insta revive. Good call. She did not hear that. Nice shot. Nice shot. What I would do here now instantly, burn her to apply pressure.
Hi, boys.
Sharp, thank you for the raids.
What do you want?
Welcome in. Can we get a shout out for Sharp? Welcome in, Raiders. Currently doing... Oh. We kind of stuck here in the middle. We kind of heard that team earlier shooting already. It's a little bit of like decision making here, Sepha. There was not much you could have done here. Like first you should have contested the body on the first kill guy on the roof. But you know, once you got shot by Dragon Breath and die here, it happens, you die. Dragon Breath is really annoying, really hard to deal with. But once you got that kill here on the Bruna skin, just burn her. And then you have to like rotate around. I'm gonna go and paint later and explain it to you with positioning. You should always run a burn or find a lantern, but you should probably always run a burn. That's like something I want to say as well. I saw that in your tools. You should probably run a burn tool. Don't run choke bombs as a solo. It's like very useless as a solo to run choke bombs. I'm back. I'm gonna talk about it in a second. Me? Here we go. Sorry. Alright. Let's go back here. You got the kill. Very nice headshot. But yeah, I would replace your choke bombs with a burn tool. Like, don't run choke bombs as a solo. They're fairly useless. Like fuses or flare pistol. And right here, I'm going to show you that in a second here in paint. Do that here probably already. Open that. God damn. Aiming is really not your problem. I'm assuming you come from a different FPS game, Sepha, right? Those are some amazing headshots. Here's a team in the mountain. Alright. A little bit like not prioritizing hardcover, you like kind of risking your lives a little bit, but like standing out in the open Valorant, yeah. I figured you come from like some kind of FPS game because your aim is really good. Your aim is really good. We're gonna go in a little bit of detail here in paint. I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean with like positioning, that kind of stuff. Map knowledge will come over time, you know? I'm not gonna criticize you on map knowledge. That will happen with time. The longer you play, you're gonna learn the maps and learn the angles. It's come with time, naturally. That's something, you know, like no coaching can really teach you. That's just like playtime. You like know all the angles and stuff. It's kind of like Valorant, you know? Like over time you just know what angles to peek. God damn, nice shot. Throwing. Probably playing for the rest here. Mm-hmm. Something I would recommend here, in general, like, we just saw you scan, like, how many seconds? I think 4 or 5 times in the same position. I would recommend you, like, if you see that you're like, you know, here you have still 4 seconds. I think you had even more, 5 seconds. But then you got to kill 4, and at the end you have, like, no more scan. Scan is a very valuable resource. I would, right here, like, you basically scan 4 times in, like, 10 seconds. Unless that guy is, like, running away or moving, I would try to only scan here once or twice until that guy gives you a reason to look for him again. You kind of know. I get it. A lot of people do that. Not something you do exclusively. It's a very bad habit a lot of people have when they have scan, because they feel like they want to, like, use their scan constantly to, like, find someone's location, but you know he's still behind that rock. Like, you kind of, like, wasted, like, 3 seconds of wall hack to find out the guy is still behind the rock. Does that make sense? Like, Hunt has really good audio. You would hear him running away if he does. So, be a little bit more, like, resourceful with your dark side scan. Like, unless people move, they give you audio cues that you have to, like, relocate the location, or you're pushing and you're making a play of it. That's the downside with dark side as well. Sepha just said, like, I wanted to know if he, like, peeks left or right side. That's something you will learn with time. Dark side is also not that accurate. Dark side, kind of, when you scan somebody, this is a player, it kind of moves a little bit left or right. So you can also get tricked by dark side very, very heavily. Like, sometimes the dark side will show here to the left of the rock while he's actually in the middle, because that dark side is like a moving orange ghost thing. It's not like actual wall hack. It moves even if the player doesn't move. Oh, it's okay. Like, it's not like a, you know, that's something to, like, think about. For example, he could have used the scan now to see if he's up here by the corner and then make a play of it. There's nothing wrong with using dark side, but you kind of, like, scanned 4 times without, like, doing anything with the information. Oh, there you see him. Ooh, almost hit him, almost hit him. Nice, let's go. Really good shots. Oh, someone in. Oh, we didn't. You just ignore that you got shot at. Fair enough, it happens. New team. Now this goes back to, like, you wasted your dark side scan. You should have looted earlier, get your scan back. But, you know, if you wouldn't have, like, used all your dark side scan now, you would have had time to scan after you got the kill and would have seen their team approaching. It kind of comes to haunt you now, because now you get pushed by 3 players. I love how you, like, instantly back up to reposition, though. That's a good move. Probably have to, like, rotate even further here. Yeah, you're doing it perfect. He's fairly new, but he played other FPS games, Phoenix. Like, he has really good aim, but I think he's, like, fairly new to the game. Overall, that's just something I would concentrate on, Sepha. Like, not using dark side too often. It's very tempting to do it. I get it. Yeah, he's... Oh, yeah. Alright. Let's first go into your positioning thing. Let's go display capture here. Hello? Oh, wait. Window capture. There we go. First thing, we're gonna talk about positioning. Here's the boss layer building, kinda. You know, not fully accurate, but, like, kinda you get an idea. It's a boss layer building. Here's that sidebar where you were. Here's that building. We have, like, the little rocks here, like the little canyon, and then we have that building here. First thing, you were, like, right here at that building, and you got the kill on this guy, right? And then you were like kind of just staying in this area, waiting for something to happen. In that situation, when as a solo you get a kill on a guy on the roof, what I would have done in your situation here, you rotate over to the left, and then you contest the body from that angle. Try to stop them. You could even, since you were running decoy fuses, could throw, push a little bit closer, throw a decoy fuse, and then push out to like contest the body. But basically you want to make sure that they don't get a revive for free. You kind of want to keep the numbers in a 2v1 instead of a 3v1. Like, don't give your enemy like free revives. I hope that makes sense, right? Like, you get the kill on this guy here, rotate to the left, so you can kind of contest the area here. Don't give him a free revive. Doesn't mean you can contest it, doesn't mean you can stop the revive, but by staying in this area here, you kind of just gave him a revive for free, and especially, like I said already, since recovery shots are in the game, or like a lot of mechanics to give bars back to players that play in teams, I would always try to make sure that people do not come back. Not always possible, but definitely should do that. Then, you got amazing shots on those guys, like you killed 2 here, then you got chased by the Dragon Breath. It sucks, Dragon Breath is just annoying. I really like that you didn't panic, and you kept on fighting. What if one challenges me, and the other one... I mean, that's a different story. If you get challenged, then I would still rotate. I would still, like, go this way. You don't want to stand still and wait for something to happen. You always want to be very proactive as a solo player. You don't want to sit still and wait for it. Like, even if they're like, there's a second guy on the roof, and you kill this guy here, you still want to, like, try to, like, there's, like, there were rocks here, there are trees. You kind of want to, like, keep on moving, play hard cover, and make the life for them as hard as possible. Because, the more players are on the enemy team, the easier the game is for them, because all they have to do is, like, trade numbers. So you always want to, like, contest the body to some degree. Don't risk your life for it, but in that situation you would, like, rotate around. Sukujin, thank you for the 11 months. Thank you for the 11 months, Yvonne. Then, the second scenario. Then, I wish I could do that, like, in-game, but, can't go into trials and show you. You were here in that corner after you got downed, and then you killed the Bruja zombie here. At the same time, a team was pulling up from the back, from that direction, that was shooting from the back, like new trio. And you got the kill here. First of all, like I said, swap out your choke bombs for a burn tool of your choice. Decoy fuses, flare pistol. I would recommend the flare pistol since it has more range. Then, what I would have done in that situation, we're gonna go very in detail here, by the way, guys, because he has really good aim, and I think he will be 6-star in no time. You burn this guy here to apply pressure on his teammates that are somewhere in this area. And then, in this scenario, when you are ever pinched, you want to unpinch yourself. You then push past the burning body and want to play this area. You kind of want to take the top side of the equation and then put the team that you were fighting originally into the middle between the new approaching trio here and you up here. Does that make sense? Like, you kind of like rotate around. Because in general, you always want to, like, you would never want to be in between an area, even in a 1v3, where you get shot from, like, like, multiple different angles, because it's incredibly hard to keep track of that. Doesn't always work that way, but that should always be the goal. You kind of always, ideally, want to be in a situation where, like, if you are the solo player, you're basically fighting everything in front of you. Like, you want your enemies to be in front of you. Like, wherever they are, you want to be, like, right in front of you, rotation-wise. So you can never get shot from this direction, and, somebody's here and shoots you from here, and then... Because that's too many angles to keep track of, it's impossible. So always, rotation-wise, try to, like, have everybody, like, in a line in front of you, so you can't get caught off guard as much. It happens, But I hope that does make sense. Rotation-wise. Those are the big two things. Like I told you, like, already, like, don't waste your dark side scan and stuff. But yeah. Those are, like, two things rotation-wise that I would always think about, Always try to, like, Have everybody in front of you so you don't have to like worry about like side angles or somebody behind you, because that makes your life incredibly hard. Then let's go in-game in the shooting range. You hit twice. Let's go. Welcome back, Philly. Or like, welcome double here, Philly. Let's load in the shooting range real quick. Those are the two things I would work on rotation-wise. Then, you know what we talked about with the dark side scan? And then this third, or the next thing, not the third thing, that I would advise you to work on is like, I talked about it in my last coaching. I don't know if you see the coaching video, but you quite often put yourself out in the open. Like I saw that when you were fighting the team that approached from the mountainside. That was like at the top of Deadfall Timber in the mountains towards Grizzly Notch. I also struggle, that's what Sepha said, by the way, for the people watching this on YouTube, because I will be uploading that to YouTube. I also struggle when people rush me with a shotgun. If I fight a team that has rifles, I can win sometimes, but if they have shotguns, I always lose. Little advice that will help you. Write that one down, actually, Sepha. Little piece of advice. If somebody is over here and they use something like an uppercut and shoot at you, like on a distance where you would usually use a rifle, like 50 meters, 40 meters, 60 meters, they use a pistol, just anticipate that they have a shotgun, unless they prove you otherwise. But if you ever see somebody 60 meters out and they shoot at you with a pistol, just anticipate that they have a shotgun and then try to be like 20-30 meters away from them. Like always, you know, just anticipate that they have a shotgun until they prove you otherwise, until they shoot you with a Mosin. But, you know, whenever somebody shoots you with anything that is not a rifle, you will learn over time what rifles sound like. But whenever you see somebody shoot at you with especially pistols, just assume there's a reason why they use their pistol and they don't use their rifle, right? They probably have something close range. Could be a bomb lens, could be a shotgun, could be a katana, could be a bow, could be a crossbow. But there's a reason why they are not using their rifle at a range where you would like to use a rifle. Hope that does make sense. Then, something I saw you do a lot. I can show that in the YouTube video real quick. Go back to the window capture. I mean, that's a different story, Coxrox, but you can still see if somebody has a medium slot gun, right? Gonna keep on watching that here real quick. One sec. It's a little bit laggy. My apologies. Because I'm in-game right now, but just to explain the point. Like right now, when you're like fighting the team in the mountain, you have scan, you're gonna scan them. It's a little bit laggy. My apologies for that, it's because I have my game running in the background. But right now you see the teams in the mountain. And you see how you're running in the open here, even though you know they're up there in the mountain. You kind of like, you were in a fairly safe position. And you did that a lot during the fights. So something you can work on, you know. Don't be too hard on yourself, but you were kind of in a safe position where you had like a little bit of cover from where you can like, you know, like heal yourself in case you do get tagged, and you run out in the middle of the open, basically. You kind of ran in the middle of the open. Not like, if we go back and hunt now, give you the best example. Like, basically what you did, a little bit exaggerated, you were fighting a guy up here on this high ground. You know they're there, and you kind of like ran here. And we're like, I'm gonna fight you from here because I'm just gonna shoot you in the head. You know? Because if you get tagged now, you kind of have nowhere to go. Something I would always do, I already told that the last guy I coached on my latest video. Every 10 seconds when you're in a fight, to get into the habit of it. Be like, every 10 seconds when you're in a fight, oh, I'm fighting the guy. Yeah, hard cover. Stupid streamer said I should always look for some kind of cover to play from. So, play by this wall. Then, you know, if the fight continues, you're like here again. Wait a second, this stupid streamer, man. Yeah, hard cover. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna play from here. You know, like, so when, in case you do get tagged, you know, I'm gonna explain you exactly why. In case you do get tagged, boop, instantly behind cover. They can't really do anything. They could throw a nade, but you hear when they do it. So basically, the reason is, for example, if you watch somebody like me or Rakta or Hornet play solo, we don't run around and hit every headshot. You know, we don't run around and go like boom, headshot. We basically make sure we stay alive until we win. That's a number one rule as a solo player. You want to stay alive. That's your number one goal. If it takes you 20 shots, you know, let's just say you miss the first 19 shots in a fight, and the 20th is your headshot, and it's, you know, predetermined that your 20th bullet is a headshot, then you need to make sure that you are allowed to miss 19 times to then hit the 20th shot. You know? Like, you know, good players like me, we don't hit every single shot, but we basically allow ourselves to miss by rotating correctly and always be in cover so we can get ourselves out of a bad position. Makes sense, right? You know? So there's a guy here, and I miss my shot, I'm, boom, behind cover. They can't hit me anymore. I'm gone. You know, I'm basically like dictating when they can shoot me and when they can't. So I missed my shot, doesn't matter, but they cannot shoot me. And even if they tag me, I can heal. So it doesn't really matter. Then I go here, go around here, look for them, don't see them, keep rotating, go around, have my hard cover here. Then I hit the shot. You know, and even if they, you know, attack me here, I can go like, boop, gun, I can heal. Jump down here, keep on rotating. Have here, cover again, go around, miss my shot. Again, instantly move to the corner, move over here. I'll go around, again, have here my hard cover corner. Peek around. And then you kill them, you know? But you always want to have something. Also to isolate 1v1s, it's very important as a solo, you know? No, 1, 2, 3, 4 players here. If you fight this guy, you want to fight him like that. So those guys are out of the equation. You always want to, like, you know, have like a corner to play from. You'd probably do that in Valorant as well, you know? If there's like 3 people on the bomb site, you're not gonna go like, yo, what up, guys? And then you get shot by all 3 players. You cannot go like, you know, one, that guy is dead. And you like fish for information a little bit. You're like, oh, there's another guy. Boom, second guy dead. Then you know, this guy's dead, You're gonna be like, oh, where's the last guy? Ah, there he is. Go like, boom, dead. Trio wiped. The entire time, you only fought one person at a time. Doesn't always work like that, but it's kind of the goal when playing solo. Always try to isolate 1v1s, and if you can't get a 1v1, it's time to reposition. You never want to fight 3 players at the same time, not get stuck in a corner. Does that make sense? Hope those, it's a lot to process here, but yeah. Number 1 priorities, you know, that you should probably work on is like, that guy is my duelist player. You know, like, let's just say like you're fighting like this group of, you know, all of those like dummies here are hunters. That's the one thing I would like you to work on that would probably help you a lot. You know, you're fighting this group of hunters, you're never going to be in a position like that, but just to explain it, you know. Currently I can get shot from this direction, that direction, this direction, this direction, and that direction. Which is kind of impossible to like make work because you cannot like spin around and headshot everybody. So instead of being in between enemies, if possible, you always want to be in a position or like rotate with a sword behind it, that you're going to be in a position where you're going to be like, here, suddenly they're all in front of you. You don't really have to worry about somebody, you know, there's a dummy here, but you know, you don't have to worry about somebody shooting you from here, somebody shooting you from there, somebody shooting you from up top, because you're in a position where everybody is like kind of in a triangle in front of you. It would probably help with a fast-firing secondary Sepha. It definitely does help, but you don't have to. But it would definitely help you, like an Officer, a Dolch, in Bornheim. Because it allows you to like finish enemies quite often. You could also play an Officer Carbine. But yeah, that's like the number one thing I would like you to work on with positioning. You know, always, or like rotations. To always like try to make sure that your enemy is in front. And if you do get a kill, try to deny the revive. And the second thing that would probably help you a lot, like I said, you know, every 10 seconds while you're fighting, be like, this stupid streamer told me to like play hard cover. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay, fuck that. Before he like fucking cries again that I don't play behind the box. So like every 10 seconds in a fight. And that will take a lot of effort at the beginning. But over the next couple of days and weeks, you will eventually fall into the habit where like you don't have to even ask yourself every 10 seconds in a fight, am I next to a box? Because eventually it will just become second nature to you. For example, when I fight, you know, I don't go like, oh, there's a guy over here, so I'm just gonna run. Ah, yeah, there's a guy I'm fighting. When I approach the corner in my mind, I'm gonna be like, okay, I want to fight a guy up there. Let me play this corner. Oh, there's not there. Okay, let me play this corner. Like I do that like subconsciously, where I'm constantly like, you know, when I want to fight a guy over here, I don't like run over here in a straight line. I consider on my way already, okay, I have this corner, I have this wagon, I have this metal sheet, I have like those sandbags. So I already, when I'm approaching somebody, I'm already scanning the environment in front of me where I can play from. That's what happened with time, Sepha. I said that. I saw it earlier that like you didn't really know like where the angles were, you didn't really know like what the compound does look like. That will come with time. That's not something I can teach you. That's literally just playing the game. It's like learning a map in Valorant. You know, I can tell you like that's an angle where people peek from, but the maps are just too big and there are too many angles. That is something that you will learn with time. But yeah, those are like the main priorities that I would concentrate on as a solo. Is there anything you would like me to explain? Anything I missed out on? We went very much in detail here, but yeah. Is there anything I missed out on? You know, I told you like, prioritize hard cover, try to rotate in a way that the enemies are in front of you so you can't get shot from multiple directions at the same time, ideally. Try to, you know, rotate out of like getting pinched between multiple teams. Then, you know, work on not wasting your dark side. That helps a lot. And those are like the main things that I would work on. Because your aim is amazing. You have really, really good aim. I think if you like, you know, bring like a little bit more like of a system to the chaos and don't just fully rely on your aim, then you will see great success. And then also I told you like, you know, like replace your choke bomb with a burn tool to apply pressure, because burns are really important. And like you see here, if you have a flare pistol, you kill a guy, I can literally like burn him from all the way over here. You know, it doesn't even mean you burn out. That's like one of the most important tools as a solo actually. It doesn't even mean that that guy has to burn out, but by burning the guy that you kill here, for example in that video, the Bruja on the corner, you force those guys to do something. If you don't burn, they're gonna be like, ah, whatever, we are 2v1, we can still play. But by burning their teammate, you kind of force their hand. That means maybe they have to push to throw a choke bomb. Maybe they come over to like do a necromancer. But you basically just use it as a motivating tool. Like, makes them do something. I don't even want that guy to burn out. It's just, I want those guys to move, you know? Do something. Because when they move, they make mistakes. From a logical perspective. Yeah, you could do that. You don't have to run a Penny Derringer, but you can do that. Sekiro appreciates the follow.
Here comes the bull.
But that makes sense, right? Like, you kind of use the burns so they move, because when those guys move to save their teammate, that is when they do mistakes. If they just sit in a corner and do this the entire time, there's not much outplay potential except you shooting them in the head. But if they have to push over here to save their teammate because their teammate is like, guys, I'm burning, can you throw a choke bomb? Can you save me? Hello? Help me? Hello? That's when people make mistakes. That's when people do mistakes. Ellie, what up? Good evening. Oh yeah, that's like the little solo coaching session. Unless there's something you want me to explain a little bit more in detail. But yeah, Penny Derringer is also pretty good. But doesn't even matter. You don't have to run a Penny Derringer. It's really good though. It's good for like, you know, For example, if that door was barricaded, it's gone. I hope that it does make a lot of sense. It's the benefit of penny shot, huh? Like, quite easily breaks walls. It also one-taps hunters. You're really close to them. Deals a lot of damage to bosses. I think you covered pretty much everything. I appreciate it. I'm glad. You know, always feel free if, like, you know, in 2 weeks you have like a different situation. Once I'm back from TwitchCon, where you want more, like, in which you want more advice on, or you had a different situation, then always feel free to do another coaching. I never mind that, you know. If you're gonna be like in 2 weeks, hey, I worked on everything you said, but now I run into that problem because suddenly you try to rotate more, and then suddenly when you rotate, you get constantly shot while rotating, then, you know, just redeem another coaching and then give you a little bit more advice on how to rotate. But yeah, that was it. That was it. And this will also be uploaded to YouTube, so that was also it for the YouTube video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Alright, GG. Video over.